This is Ken Long from Tortoise Capital with Lesson 1 of the inaugural Swing Trading Online Workshop. I'm going to record from here forward and make this link available to folks that could not attend for whatever reason. I've got everybody on mute except for me so that we can get through this. The target for these is going to be like 1 hour on Sundays. And the purpose of the meetings is going to be to focus specifically on questions and answers from the previous week's material, and then to make sure that the next week's material is clear in your mind about what is expected, and then other subjects as necessary as they come up. And so let me get started with, let's see, yeah. Most of the work, let me just say, hey, thanks for the trust you put into me and for giving this a shot and being good sports. If there's anybody that for any reason doesn't want their email shared with the rest of the gang, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just let me know by email, and then I'll keep you on the down low to respect privacy. I just don't want to make assumptions until you give me permission for to talk to other folks and whatnot. Most of you have already said that's okay. So most of the coursework is going to be done at the individual level asynchronously, meaning that I'm going to put out homework assignments each week for you to accomplish. And I say individually, although what I'm going to recommend that this week you decide if you would like to partner with somebody. What we found in this past year as we worked from the live trading workshop in Kansas City going forward, that there was a good value add in having an accountability partner or a study partner, somebody to work with. And so there's an opportunity to do that in this course. I know every one of you has already been through the workshops with me before, and you know the power of collaboration. And so there's an opportunity for you to work in a small group or with a partner. We know that Basecamp is a very good way of organizing your work materials and to be able to share files and discussions with each other. Instead of playing email tag, the intent would be to use the Basecamp learning environment or project management environment to do the cross-coordination. Now, Catherine has been very gracious in volunteering her services as a classroom monitor or assistant, like a lab technician, or the trying to think what my son, like a teaching assistant. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So she's going to be helping me with keeping the course running smoothly on Basecamp. So if there are homework assignments that I've asked you to do and I don't have the file uploaded yet, or I haven't recorded that video, or there's some additional work that needs to be done, she's going to beat me up and make sure that gets done. And plus, with her knack for turning my scribbles and scratches into things of beauty, she may be able to help us clean up formats and compile learning lessons and whatnot to make this a high-quality workshop. The intent is that the materials that we develop and record and work on together, with your permission, I'll be sharing with you either in a download form from Basecamp or through the ubiquitous thumb drive. And my intention is to anonymize it, but standardize some of the lessons and make these available to others, like a home study course that they could take on their own. So I think the real advantage of doing what we're about to do is the opportunity to work in small groups and with partners and together, coming together weekly to go over the material and really locking it in. But there will be other folks that want to take it on their own or spread it out over time, and so I want to be able to present material to them. So that's why I'll be using recorded lectures and written products and file sharing to develop a curriculum for a home study course. I will make that available, all that stuff available to you guys just for participating, because I appreciate the effort that you're about to put into this. So we will use Basecamp for most of the work. We will use GoToWebinar like this to handle the Sunday evening 1-hour workshops. Now, if you decide that you want to work with a study group or an accountability partner or whatever, and you guys would like to use GoToWebinar to collaborate more easily, all you got to do is send me or Devin Bresser or Catherine a note, and we can arrange a session for you on GoToWebinar. You can just log in and run your own workshop. Easy enough to do. So keep that in mind as you think through that this week. What I want to do is review the functionality of Basecamp, and while I do that, that will also give me an opportunity to cover the syllabus, which is embedded in Basecamp. Right. So when you first log on to Basecamp, let me head back over here to my main dashboard. Now, when I log into Basecamp, every project that I am a member of gets listed over on this right-hand side. And then there's a consolidated list of everything that has changed so far, and any tasks that are due appear on the calendar. So this is where I run the workshops for research and live trading, the coaching sessions, and then the various swing trading and masterminds and whatnot. So you guys should all see, when you log into Basecamp, you should see that you are members of the Tortoise Mastermind. Let me highlight that. You should all see that you're members of the Mastermind, the Swing Trading Online Workshop, and then the Swing Trading project itself. Now, some of you may, because you attended some of these other live tradings and whatnot, you may have more than that. But everybody should have at least those three. All right? And so what they are, let's see, get the pen going. So the Tortoise Mastermind is just our collection of good ideas and files and whatnot. It's a very broad-based project. It has the most content of anything, I think. The swing trading, where it says just plain swing trading, I would like you to think of that as a reference file. There was some, there are standard systems definitions and a couple short presentations like market classification and whatnot that I stuck in there so that whenever folks subscribe to the Tortoise, either at the silver or gold level, I give them access to that project. And then there's a way that they can download the definitions and whatnot there. The Swing Trading Online Workshop is the one that is just, the 10 or 12 of us here, right? So that's the one that I'm about ready to work my way through. But what I want you to see is that when you log into Basecamp, over on this side, you'll have a list of all the projects that you are signed up for. So I should say, if at any time you got any questions about what I'm covering, just drop a note in the question box, and I will notice that, and then I'll get to it. Otherwise, I'm going to keep driving on. All right. So when I log into Basecamp, I will add you to that, Lisa. Got it. And Catherine, that would kind of like make sure that I put that on a task list for me to keep me straight. Tortoise Mastermind for Lisa. So when I go over here to, I'm going to click on the Swing Trading Online. And there's some things I want you to, there's an overview, which just is a list of all the activities as they occur. So as you start adding things, or I start adding things, you'll notice that this little list of recent activities gets populated. The most recent thing I put on here were a couple files from Patrick, where he and I were working on some visuals for the swing trading and trading environment, and I think they were kind of useful for all of us, so I've added those. In the Messages tab is the next one. I want you to notice that I've put in the first message. It's called Basecamp Project for the Swing Trading Course. So that's an invite to all of you just to make sure that you have access to Basecamp. I think everybody on our list had access to it and has used this once before except Tom. And so, Tom, I especially want to make sure you get a chance to check that out tonight and make sure you have access to it. And so when I click on that message, what I get is all I said was the word testing, and then I put a sketch in there from Patrick, and we'll cover that in a second. So that's the messages. Now on the to-do list, I don't have any listed right now, but we can use that if we want to keep track of suspenses. That might actually be more trouble than it's worth. You are more than welcome to put your own suspenses in there if you want. You can do that from your side as a member of the project. And then Catherine and I may decide to put some suspenses in there also. Okay, Tom, good. Thanks. So the to-do list is pretty easy to do, and I use it personally for to keep track of a bunch of different projects. The calendar, if you want to put suspenses on there, you can schedule them. I haven't put any on there right now. I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to go to the chat function. Now the chat function is another way of doing Campfire, and we're not going to use that. I can't turn it off, but there's no reason to use that chat function in here. It's better just to go into the swing trading room, I think. Although you may find if you just want to do a text chat with somebody, you can, but at some point it might just be easier to talk to them or use a GoToWebinar. The time function is really only if you're doing project management and you're tracking billables, so we're not going to do any of that. The file section is a place where is a file storage area for us to put our materials. And so I've got two files in there right now. One is a PDF version of the sketch Patrick and I did, and then just a Portable Networks graphic version of it. I'm going to talk to that here in a few minutes as I describe one of the homework assignments going forward. Okay, so that's overview, messages, to-do, calendar, chat, time, and files. I want to come back now to really the most powerful one of these, which is the write boards. And so this is where most of the coursework is going to be done. So the first thing I want you to notice, each one of these is a threaded, editable, collaborative discussion board, and it saves previous versions of it too. So if we screw up and accidentally erase something, we can go back and reconstitute it and look at earlier versions of this. And so there's some things that I want to cover. Let me start at the bottom. YouTube links, and watch them by the date indicated. So when I click on that, I'm going to get a write board, and what I've placed in here is a skeleton of the mini lectures that I'm going to do for you for this course. By tomorrow, I'm going to have mini lectures on zero state, market classification, risk Z, and the 10-day NDX, all as part of next week's topic. So this week going, actually, no, this is probably by the 14th. Yeah, those are going. I need to move those to the 14th. So what we're going to do next week is review all the work you will have done on self. So as you know, I believe that we have self, systems, and market. And so this first week between now and Saturday, before Super Bowl Sunday, is going to be about self. So I have a number of homework assignments for you to do where you're going to describe your objectives and whatnot. Then the second week, that's going to be due by February 14th, is going to be about the market, right? So I just noticed here that I have 3 things in that section that really belong under February 14th. And one of them, the 0 state, is something that I want you to accomplish by February 6th. So here's how I adjust this in this collaborative workspace called a write board. I go up to edit this page, click, and now the web page opens up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take market classification, risk Z, and 10-day NDX, and I'm going to slide them down to February 14th. And I'll clean this up a little bit. So now when I save this as the newest version, now you can see what I've done is I'm telling you here, you need to watch these videos once I get them populated by the date indicated. So tonight I'm going to record one on 0 state and have the link posted to a private YouTube channel. So before Saturday, I would like you to review that one on 0 state. And then by the following Sunday, there's going to be at least 3 that I want you to look at with respect to market classification, the risk Z, and the 10-day NDX. So each one of these will be a clickable link to a YouTube video, and this will keep you straight on all the mini lectures. So as we go through the course, I will be adding mini lectures in here, both the things that I know I want to tell you, or if you have specific questions that are best answered by a video, then I'll record that video lesson and put it in to the appropriate slot. So that's what Catherine's going to help me do. Is if you guys have things that you would like to see put into videos to elaborate a lesson or something, get that information to Catherine, and then she can compile it for me, and then I can get that done. And what I'll probably do is have a write board for Catherine to work on so that she can keep me workloaded. So if there's any questions on that, just let me know. But that's basically how that write board works. It's like an editable collaborative document that also keeps version control, and very, very simple to work. Over on the right hand side, so when I hit edit, I should go back and show this again. It's kind of primitive in terms of what kind of formatting, but if you come over here to the right hand side and check the click formatting guide, there's a limited number of things that you can do, like making bold phrases or italics or bulleted list. The best way to work this thing is to write your stuff in a word processor and just paste it in, and then hit save as the newest version. That's usually the best way to go. So any questions on that one, or let me just suggest you fiddle around with it this week when you complete your one of your homework tasks, and you'll have a chance to monkey around with it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the swing trading workshop, and I'm back in the write boards. So that was the YouTube links. That's the bottom one, and that is where I'm going to store all of the lessons. The working list of all topics to cover, I'm going to click on that one now. So I solicited some questions from the, save as newest version. I solicited a list of questions from the chat room and folks, and these were the things that I knew automatically that it was a given that I was going to cover: systems, strategies, and market classifications, those definition papers, position sizing and risk management, and then clarification of choices for exiting. In other words, describe how these different styles of exiting can be applied to swing trading depending on what your objectives are. And then in addition, a list of 12 topics came up, 1 through 12 that you notice here. Most of that thanks to Catherine's good work. And so these are the initial design criteria for me to make sure that I get an 11-week course in here. This is the 0 week, really. But an 11-week course that ensures that I get all of those things covered in some kind of logical manner. Now, if there are things that need to be added, whether it's new topics or clarifications or whatnot, that's where I would like to see this get posted below the line. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to edit this page, and what I'm going to do is create a cut line, and I'm going to cover everything that's above the line. I am definitely going to cover, and these would be below this. I'm going to add nominations for other topics. So if there's a topic you would like to see, just enter, who you are and what you'd like to see, just like a one-liner. Type that in, and then click Save as Newest Version, and then I'll review that. And then ones that I see that I'm going to be able to do, I will put that above the line, and I'll probably do a video or a slide presentation or something on it, and handle it that way. So the working list of all topics to cover is our collaborative list of things that meet our objectives. Okay, so one of the things that I'm going to ask you to do this week is first write up a short paragraph introducing yourself to everybody that lists your objectives for the course. And then I'm going to ask you to review this working list of topics, and if there's anything that's not on there that you would like to see added, then put that into your little write-up. That whole thing I want you to put, let me show you where. So that was working list of all topics. I would like you to put under the personal introductions and goals in this whiteboard. So I haven't added anything here yet. So you would click Edit Page, and then person number 1. Hey, hi, I'm Catherine, and this is my introduction. These are my goals, and these are the topics that maybe I would like to see added. You could either add them there or go to that other whiteboard and put them below the line. As long as you answer all 3 of those questions, then we'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to put a spot there for Catherine to go first, since she is the best of us. So I've added Catherine. I'm going to save as the newest version, and bingo, now she's on to that whiteboard. So you should be picking up. It's really pretty easy to be able to use these whiteboards. So one of your tasks this week is to do that. Introductory paragraph, list of objectives for the course, and then add any topics to be added to the curriculum on that last whiteboard that I showed you. Okay, so I want to cover next weekly schedule for Sunday chats. Okay, this is another whiteboard. Now, these are all the things that I want to cover today. I feel like I've covered course introduction, and really, I guess that's about it so far. The assorted websites, there's really 3. And these are all the things I'm going to cover here shortly. This is below that. This is the working list of the weekend hour-long webinars, which we'll do synchronously. And the plan there is that it'll be an hour-long review of the questions and answers, or the questions that you've submitted based on that week's materials. It's not clear. So if you and your accountability partner can't sort it out, and you need to hear more from me on that topic, then that's where you're going to nominate a question. We'll put that onto the agenda, and then that gives me notes to prepare for that Sunday's discussion. And so that's how we'll use the recorded webinar like this one to get that done. And I will record all of those just like I'm recording this one. So if for any reason you can't be there for that session, then you'll have a chance to listen to it asynchronously. All of these sessions will be private links on YouTube, so you'll have access to the private links, and my intention is not to share those unless until at the end of the course we look at it and say, yeah, we do or do not mind sharing any of those with with folks that are going to take this as a home study course. But my initial intention is not to share that unless we all say that it'll be okay. Those are all the weekly schedules. I will tell you just right off the bat, February 6th is a Saturday because Sunday is the Super Bowl. I don't usually watch it, but I know folks like to, so I may be told to go somewhere to visit friends for a Super Bowl party, and so I may not be around. So we'll just plan on Saturday, and then on March 26th is also a Saturday because that's Easter Sunday, and so all these other days are Sundays. I have tentatively scheduled them for 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock to immediately follow the report webinar, which I'm going to be adding like a swing trade framing session on each of those. So my intention is each of these weeks as we go along, I'm going to frame at least 5 swing trades and talk about them prior to that workshop, and I'm going to post the trade frames in the swing trading room as a way to show these systems in action. And then my plan is to take some of those trades and then just work it through a portfolio and manage those trades throughout the week and keep that as and maintain a trade log and close trade studies with commentary so that I'm contributing my swing trading work to the swing trading room. And I think that's fair. So let me go. So this is the schedule for the weekly chats. And then let's see, the weekly assignments to complete the tasks by the dates noted. Okay, so this is the last right board that we have not covered yet. So by tonight, there was nothing that you needed to have done. Okay, so that's where we are right now. Okay, nothing. What I want you to have, I want you to complete by Saturday this following list of things. Okay? So the first one is, I want you to confirm that you can access all of the course websites, and that's this Basecamp project, the Campfire. It's the the primary chat room, and then the swing trading chat room. The tortoisecapital.net. That's the web page that has a bunch of swing trade resources already built. That's tortoisecapital.net, the swing trade tab, and then the password for that is capital ETF and lowercase swing, no space. Okay, so that's the user ID and password, and that just has a bunch of references. So the swing trade definitions are there. The info papers of various types are all located there. There's a truckload of case studies already posted, some concept videos, the 150 trading essays are all there. So it's sort of a robust catalog of swing trading products. And so what I really see this course being is a guided tour with practical examples through all that rich population of swing trading ideas. This is going to be a focused journey according to a schedule with the prime author and then with study partners that you can work with in a collaborative way. So this is, I think, a step up from doing it just online. And then the final thing is, can you make GoToWebinar work? And because you're all here, that's sort of the deal. So really, the only one I need you to confirm, I think, is that you can get to the Basecamp and you see the project. I just need that. We need to get that done by Saturday. And so I don't need you to send me an email that says I got it all. I just, if there's a problem that you can't solve, then get a hold of me. Okay? So that's the first task for homework for this week. Second task is individual instruction or introduction and personal goals posted to Basecamp. So again, that's the not to exceed a paragraph, and then a list of your goals for taking the workshop, what you want to get out of it, so at the end of this thing we can see, did we meet our goals? And then also any additional topics that you would like to nominate. And oh, by the way, it's not just the ones you think of this week. As we go through the course, if there's something you would like me to re-emphasize or to add to it, that's where you use that other right board and just post it below the line, and that's how we will build the adaptive course. This week also, I want you to make a decision on study partners or an accountability partner, and that the 2 or 3 of you don't do more than 3, because then I think it gets a little cumbersome. I think 2 or 3 works pretty good. And there's flexibility. If you want to swap later in the course, you can do that. Or if you would just have to have 4, that's fine also. But I would like you to sort of make an initial decision this week if that's something you want to do. And I would tell you, halfway through the course, if you were just doing it by yourself and then, hey, you wanted a study partner at that point, we'll all know each other enough by then that you could always add. But I would strongly encourage you to do that because this builds the community network, and a lot of times hearing it from somebody else makes it easier. Also this week, I want you to start your learning journal. I'm going to upload a learning journal blank into the files section. I don't have it uploaded there yet, so I got to do that tonight. So Catherine, make sure that I get that done. So in the files, I need to add learning journal and the trading journal and Patrick's. Actually, what I'm going to ask Patrick to do, since he was late, I'm going to ask Patrick to take the latest version of that file that you sent me, the one-page vision. I would like that to be uploaded into the files section, and everybody review that before Saturday. It's Patrick's mind and my mind are very similar in terms of how we see the relationship between day trading, swing trading, and longer-term trading, like the blended monthly rebalancing. And many of the ideas he's incorporated are more elegant ways of saying what I try to say. And so he has an example of his application of our work together in a way that makes sense to him. And so I think it's very useful to see somebody else's personal application, and it's just very well written, and he's done some excellent work on that. And then if you have questions about what he means, you would be doing him a service if you were to send him comments or questions as well. So if Patrick will upload that thing tonight, reviewing his trading frame of reference, if we call it that, is something I'd like you to do. And not this week, but I think by the end of the 3rd week, I think you need to have a working copy of that to go forward with. So I need to add that as a homework project for down here. The next task is this OCAI self-assessment. All right, it's OCAI self-assessment. So here's some background on that. So the OCAI is called the Organizational Climate Assessment Instrument, or inventory. It is a tool that some very well-respected scholars of management have put together, and it's a way to take a look at an organization's culture based on how it responds to the competing values that are found in every organization. And so there's a whole lot of theory that goes on in there. Well, this website that I'm going to underline right here, this okionline.com products, OKI1, there is a free version of the self-assessment instrument that I would like for you to take, because I think you will find it very instructive and help you organize your thoughts about yourself as a trading entity. My experience has been that Traders who treat their trading process as a business and manage it accordingly do a much better job of sustaining their excellence over time, sustaining their performance. They go through fewer peaks and valleys because they treat it as a professional enterprise. So when you take this OKAI self-assessment, it's going to ask you a set of questions twice. It's going to say, take a look at your current organization and how do you prioritize these competing values? And it will be self-explanatory. You allocate 100 points among 4 different tensions. And then based on how you weight that, it gives you one form of an organizational culture versus another. It helps you unpack all the things that are going on inside your head. And then the second time it asks you those questions, it says, now consider at some point in the future when your organization is working in an ideal state, what does that look like in the perfect future? And then by taking a look at the present versus the future, then there is a path that is suggested about how to go from the present to the future using some techniques and tools. This turns out to be a very useful way to systematically look at yourself as a sustainable trading business and bring sound principles of management to bear to see what trading really means to you, what a business-like approach would mean to you. And I think you will find this to be very helpful. It takes approximately 4 minutes to fill out. And what I'd like you to do is take the free version, look at the write-up they send you, and then I will be giving some mini lectures on that later to show how to interpret it and how to apply it. This is an area of great interest to me. On down the road, when I'm going to put together a workshop for Van and the folks at IITM, and I'm going to do a home study course here also. But on systematic thinking and systemic thinking, and this is going to be one of the systems models that I use to apply to trading to help standardize and simplify and manage what can be a very complex process. So this is a chance for you to get in early on that, and I think you'll find it pretty easy to do, but also very revealing. The next one is brain mode power. That if you have not taken the brain mode power instrument and are interested in it, just let me know. I normally charge $300 for that. I'll give you that instrument for $200 to cover my costs, and then for those of you that are coin holders, and the additional coin discount will certainly apply. The brain mode power is a way to discover your learning style through self-assessment, whether you are auditory, visual, or kinesthetic, physical. It also takes a look at your preferred mode of processing, either global, top-down, linear, bottoms-up, or integrated that blends both of those. When you add those two dimensions together, what you get is a very personalized learning environment profile. And when you take the brain mode power instrument, you get a 17-page report that gives you suggestions for additional self-reflection. I have found it to be very transformative. I found it to be a very powerful tool in terms of deepening my self-awareness of how I like to behave, how I learn under stress, what kind of environment I need to improve performance. It's something I go back to every quarter and review for additional insights. It was an important part of my dissertation work as I worked at understanding myself. It's become an important part of my trading program. I think the folks who have been to the live trading workshop, we've explored the different ways that visual and kinesthetic and auditory processes are in play that allow us to understand more deeply why we react and respond the ways we do, or why some things work for us and other things don't. That we've discovered that the learning environment is pretty powerful. So if you haven't taken one of those and are interested in it, there's a deal. It's not absolutely necessary for this course. It's just something I think that can be helpful if you're interested. So just send me an email if you're interested. We'll get it sorted out. Then finally, I would like you to review a video and complete a short practical exercise on the zero state. I have not hung that video yet. I will hang that later tonight, so it'll be available for you. It's going to be about a 10-minute video and about a 5-minute, maybe 10-minute short practical exercise on the zero state and what it means. So it might seem like an ambitious set of tasks, and so if it is, then let's just be ambitious and get it done. So those are the list of things that I would like to get done before Saturday's discussion, which will be at 8 p.m. CST. Does anybody, before I go any further, does anybody have any further or any questions about the homework assignments prior to Saturday? If you do, just go ahead and chunk it into the questions section there, and then we'll get that done. So this week we're focusing on the self in trading. The next week, the week after, we're going to be looking at the market. So we're going to take a look at market condition definitions. So I'll be asking you to review the info paper on market classification, and you say, hey, where would I find that? Well, where you're going to find that is on the tortoisecapital.net swing trading page. I'm going to ask Catherine, as her teaching assistant, if she would grab that and put that in our file section so that we have a one-stop shop for all that. I'm going to do the video on the risk Z. You will have started your trading journals and learning journals. You've already started them. And then working on how you prepare for the week ahead, beginning with market classification. So that'll be week number 2. The week after that is where we do the Q&A on systems definitions. So I want to draw a distinction now between systems and what we're going to do on week 5, which is strategies. So I have this little hierarchy: systems, strategies, tools, and tips is how I think of my material. So a strategy and a system. Okay. So a system is a very precisely defined and complete set of rules that can be robo-traded mechanically. And the 5 that we're going to look at are channeling, overreaction, triple screen, 5-day down, washout. Oh, I'm going to add a 6th one. I'm sorry. I just remembered 551W. 551W. I got to add a 6th. Keep forgetting about that one. So a system is a very detailed set of rules. There's a right or wrong way to do it. There are choices usually about optional rules or exit strategies or ways to refine it, or modules that you could add on, like should I do a continuation or not? If I do, how do I do it? So a system is a very specific set of rules. So by the February 21st, so if you get done with this stuff ahead of time and want to start reading ahead, by February 21st, I should have all of your questions about those 6 systems in hand, and we'll finish any answers by February 21st. I'm also going to post a short video explanation of each of those for those of us who are visual or audio oriented. So that's what a system is. It is the most tightly constrained rule set that can be robo-traded. The second level is what I call strategies. Strategies are things that are more relaxed set of approaches. They are, if not rules, they are tendencies or rules of thumb. Think of them as rules of thumb. So when I talk about the max pain range compression, I don't have it as detailed structure as I do a system, because I will typically adjust how I apply that based on market conditions and the state of the portfolio or other opportunities that I see. But it is a way for me to find likely candidates for swing trades based on more relaxed criteria. And then I frame them in a standard way, and then off we go. So this tends to be more complex than systems. And so we're gonna spend a week on the first set of strategies, and then week 7 on the second set of strategies. So we're going to talk about auto framer, max pain range compression. We will talk about the regression line fractal framework and the daily squeeze. These are all ways in which I apply strategies to find good candidates based on market conditions. Yeah, Robert, channeling is going to be the very first one that we cover. That one's going to be done by February 21st. So by the third week, we will have knocked that one out. Okay? Lisa is also going to present her findings on channeling and overreaction, which she just heard about for the first time just now, really just to see if she's listening and paying attention. Yeah. So you're going to take your last presentation from the live trading, and you're going to update it with the most current information and just give us a sit rep on that. And I'm budgeting some time for you on March 6th to do that. If it turns out you can go sooner, I may schedule a separate workshop with you or webinar so we can record your presentation and make it available to people sooner, but not later than week number 5 or week number 6. So let me clean up this screen here a little bit. So this week is about getting organized with ourselves. Week 2 is on the market condition. Week 3 is on systems. Week 4 is, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 is systems. 5 is strategies. Week 6 is really it's a placeholder for what I'm calling midterm student reports. And that is, I'm going to ask you by week 6 to kind of summarize your learnings from the first 6 weeks into a one-page lessons learned briefing that will kind of compare your goals to what you've covered so far and where you stand, and it'll be a chance to just assess the situation halfway through. Catherine's going to help me put together that briefing requirement, but it's got to be on one page only. Week 7, I'm looking at strategies 2. That's the second set of strategies. Week number 8 is going to be on portfolio management, target selection, and prioritization. So by week 8, we should have plenty of individual modules of things that are working for us. And now we're going to look at how we select between different targets, between different sets. And it may be that as we go through the weeks that we get to that a little earlier, but we will clean up the battlefield and put it to rest by March 20th. And again, all of this is predicate. We will play this by ear as we go and either accelerate or decelerate or reposition based on our needs. Okay, but by week 8, portfolio management, target selection, and prioritization is done. Week 9, swing trading one day at a time, and that is to show how we can go from swing trading with good targets into day 1 trading, where we can improve our entries or exits intraday. And so we will just briefly touch on like the RLCO and the frog, especially the RLCO, because that actually becomes something that's very useful to us on daily and weekly charts. But I do want to show how the principles of the swing trading can be applied intraday for management purposes. So that will be week number 9. And then weeks 10 and 11 I have as placeholders for final student presentations or other topics as needed. And the intent would be there that when you see what Lisa does, and I may ask Patrick to do one on the personal system. I haven't decided yet, Patrick, so just stand by. When we at least look at Lisa's work, you'll see what it is that I want you to get to by the end of the course, and that is to be able to take a personalized trading plan, put things together, trade them forward, analyze the results, and use that to inform your own decision-making process for how to swing trade. So really, that final student presentation looks like your swing trading plan informed by the work you have done over these next 10 or 11 weeks. And Catherine and I are going to work on specifying exactly how we want to see that and given the standardized templates to save you some of the presentation work. So we'll have that done in a couple weeks. So that's what I mean by final student presentations. That really is your trading plan going forward. For those of you that are interested in coming to the live trading and the research weekend here in Kansas City, somewhere in, it's looking like late June. I got to check with Devin, but middle or late June. Then applying that trading plan from the middle of April through June is certainly a topic that would be of great interest and which you would find personally rewarding, history has shown. So that's in a nutshell kind of the broad week-by-week outline of the course. As we go through the lessons and the email exchanges and the collaboration, if we need to make modifications into the structure of the course, it'll be done on this right board. And then if there are things that come out of your readings or research or thinking or reactions to what we've covered, and you want to add topics, then that's where you go to the right board that says the working list of topics, nominate those, and then we'll see what we can get done. My intention right now is to answer in video form every question you ask to the best of my ability so that you have complete answers, and then make that part of the final package for you for the home study course. Okay. So that's homework assignments. So I've covered homework assignments and the things that are due this week by Saturday. This personal introductions and goals is where you put that part of the homework. The weekly schedule for Sunday chats and the agendas I'm going to come back to finish off today's topics. The working lists of all topics to cover is where things that you would like to see addressed over these next 10 weeks get posted so that I can manage that workload. And then the YouTube links is going to be where I place these short mini lessons or mini lectures for you to review. All I would ask you to do is don't forward those without asking first, so that we can respect each other's commitment to the material, and we can keep it organized. That's never been a problem, and it won't be a problem this time. So just use your good judgment. So those are the 5 write boards that will govern most of our work. I would tell you that in the message board, if you want to start a thread between you and your partner, all you have to do is post a new message, put your title in here, sample, type your stuff in here, sample. If you can attach a file if you want, and let's see, I gotta sort out. Yeah, when I hit post message, now that information is in there, and this now becomes a threaded discussion as opposed to a write board. So this is maybe not a bad way for you and your accountability partner to work in one threaded discussion board all the way through the course. I would strongly encourage you to think about that. And then when you go back and click all messages, now suddenly you can see the discussion board topics in one master view. Okay, so that's how we can use, you and your trading partner or accountability partner, if you choose to use one, can work together and use this as a collaboration space. And then we're not in the business of chasing each other around with emails and file attachments. We can put it all in one spot and just get it done. Okay, so let me now finish up with so swing trading. Let me just show something real quick. When I go to the swing trading folder, that project, I just want you to notice that there's just a ton of files in there. Stuff on live trading, framing swing trades, various forms and tools that are available, template, a Word document template for writing a systems definition, and then the trading definitions for like channeling, ETF2, 5 days down, 551W, overreaction, triple screen, washout. Those are all the most current versions of all those files. It's available on the other website too, but here's just another place that you can get it done. And there's a little bit more in here about the RLCO and a couple of implementations of it. So I'm going to switch back to Swing Trading Online, show you how that navigates. Okay. I want to finish up by covering the write board on agenda. I want to make sure that I go down the list of the things I wanted to cover tonight. So I feel like I've covered the course introduction and the assorted websites, schedule of classes, and if you disagree, Stan says, do we log into the Basecamp with the password ETF swing? No. The password ETF swing comes from, that applies to the tortoisecapital.net. You should have a password for Basecamp. If not, I may need just to resend you the, it's probably been a while since you've been there. So what I'm going to do is resend you the invite to Basecamp, and then that lets you reset your password. Okay? So you need a password for the chat room. That's a personal password. A personal password for Basecamp, and the tortoisecapital.net. Let me show that one real quick, if I can. I'll find it here. So when you go to tortoisecapital.net and go to workshop swing trading, well, it will ask you for a password, and that's where you put capital ETF, then lowercase swing, and then you get this. This is the standard material that I make available to folks going to the residential workshop. And so rather than recreate that, I've just made all this available to you. So down here under the ebooks, these are the essays on trading. These strategy and concept videos are very useful. I'm probably going to assign some of those to the various lessons as we go forward, like the one on explaining auto framing is certainly going to be out there when I talk about strategies. The green, yellow, red zone technique is a strategy. Ready, fire, aim is a strategy, etc. There's some info papers in here and presentations, and some flashcards and some a master set of slides for the last swing trading workshop I did. I'm going to use that as the basis for a lot of my mini lectures, but that's sort of the comprehensive slide deck. So this website here is really just a passive reference library, and I'm going to pick and choose from that certain things that I want you to concentrate on. But you also have access to all of that if you want to go above and beyond. And that's the one that is ETF Swing. Okay? So now let me come back to this. So I want to talk about standard weekly tasks. Once we get up and running, what you do every week is going to be read the papers, watch the videos that I ask you to watch, sort through it, see what makes sense, talk with your accountability partner to make sense of it, maybe send some questions on the message board. If something really just doesn't resonate with you and you need an answer right away, just send me an email. Or if it's a topic you'd like to answer, like you would like me to address more deeply, post that on the topics. If you have a question for the agenda, that's where I want you to go to the agenda write board and just write your question in there. Then I can answer it. I can make sure that I answer it. So you'll be building our weekly agenda that way. So the plan is for weekly lectures. Now the weekly lectures, what I'm going to do is, these are the ones where I record them and ask you to watch them. This weekend webinar is really to get to closure on that week's topics and to answer any questions you might have, and only then, if we have time remaining, kick it around. I've talked about the standing list of topics. That's the right board where if there's things you would like me to add to the course, I will. Guest speakers. Patrick is going to say something. I'll figure it out with him. Lisa is going to update her trading plan and results of channeling and overreaction trading forward. She's got some great stuff to share. I've asked Mike Dungy to do a webinar with me to talk about objectives and the way he organizes swing trading to help fund his philanthropic organization. He's just done some brilliant work. And the way he personalizes trading and connects it to the powerful end state that he's working to support is a very very impressive and inspiring piece of psychological work. You know, he's basically found his purpose in life in helping others, and he has connected his trading activity to that purpose, so he never suffers maybe the self-doubt of, is this worthwhile, is this something I should be doing? He knows that it's worth doing because it's supporting his ultimate purpose in life, and so his viewpoint on that is very powerful, and it's refreshing and inspiring, and he does it with swing trading primarily, and so I want you to hear that. I fully expect that he will say yes. He's that kind of guy. There's going to be individual presentations by the end of the course, which they're sort of the mid-course, midterm, where what you've got so far, you're going to evaluate your goals and objectives. so we can make in-course corrections if we have to, and then a final presentation where you talk about what you've learned and your trading plan going forward. There's the weekly homework assignments that I have listed on the right board. There's the opportunity to do study partners, and I would just, a lot of you guys already know each other already, and so if there's somebody you want to work with and you agree, just get it done and just post a note in the message board. Or if you don't know the other guys and you're looking for somebody to work with, put a note in there. I will post the learning journal. That's the 4-part learning journal that most of you have seen already. And I have a little speech on how to do that. So I will get that posted not later than tomorrow. I will have a format for the trading journal. Catherine, you may have a good one for that, or we may use Charles's. If not, I have one, but we'll get that posted tomorrow. I will tell you, once we get going, once we get through the systems definitions, what I am going to require you to do, I was going to ask you to do it, I'm just going to make you do it, is once we get going, I think by the 3rd week or the 4th week, after we've gone through the systems, each week I want you to post 1 swing trade frame per week with your trading plan for how you propose to trade that symbol. So you're going to pick your best idea, the one that you like the most, and post the trading plan according to a format that I give you. And you're going to post that file in the swing trading chat room on Campfire. And then each week after that, you post 1 trade frame that you propose to take, and then you post 1 closed swing trade that was closed that week that's marked up according to the lessons learned and the results. Now you can do more than that, but I'm going to require you to post 1 setup and 1 closed trade so that you get used to the idea of posting in that chat room so that you can get feedback from other folks. Because remember, there's other folks not taking this course who are going to be able to ask you very good questions about what you did and why you did it, and will give you excellent feedback. And that's going to be a powerful learning resource for you. And you're going to be doing them a service by giving them your 1 best trading idea each week. There's nothing like trying to tell other people what your system is to help you understand it. And Robert will confirm that you know your system when you can give somebody else the rules and they trade it exactly the way you would trade it. That tells you that you know your system. That's what the purpose of that exercise is going to be. So the swing trade frame per week, the annotated closed swing trade. Then once we get going, and you make, I really want you to paper trade with accountability until you get comfortable that you're ready to risk money. But trading forward with a trade log with your accountability partner, that's your record of trading. And then your weekly trading plan gets updated not later than Sunday. Yeah, so that's the those things right there. The ongoing learning journal, trading journal, posting the trades, maintaining a trade log, weekly trading plan. All of those things are things that you do every week. Okay, and I've talked about brain mode power if you're interested. I've talked about this OCAI self-assessment, where I want you to go to that web link and consider your trading frame of mind, and then answer the questions about your current state of mind, and then what it looks like when that's perfect. And then the specific things on the homework I've already covered in the homework right board. So this has been about an hour and 14 minutes. Actually, we waited 5 minutes for Patrick to show up, and then went on without him. So this is what 70 minutes of webinar sounds like. So there's a chance to get through all the questions and answers you will have, but it's got to be structured. It's not a BS session. It's not me lecturing on certain things unless it's for a question and answer or a follow-up to a question that I did. If you give me questions, what I'm going to try to do is get them answered before the webinar in the form of a video and give you links on that. so that you can hear it and then ask me any clarifying questions on Sundays. I'm going to try to hold to that standard. We'll see how that goes. And then Sunday becomes a chance for me to philosophize or to bring the previous week to closure and then set the stage for the week ahead and make sure you understand all the assignments, and then to have some fun chatting together. So that's everything that I propose to cover tonight. And I want to review the bidding with Catherine. I think we've got to get Lisa into the mastermind. We got to make sure Stan has re-invitations for the passwords to Basecamp and Campfire, and then you guys have some work to do concerning all of those homework assignments, and to include deciding if you want to partner with somebody or not. And I'm going to leave that up to you guys to sort out. All of you would be awesome to work with. There's a chance to work with a newfound friend for the first time. So this is going to be good stuff. And we have everybody that I was expecting, except plus. Are we missing one? Maybe. Let's see, 1, 2. Terry, Gil, Stan, Tim. We're missing Tim. So it may be Catherine. It may be you and Tim working together. But you can't go wrong with this gang of folks that you're working with here. Yeah. I'm gonna recommend, Tom, that you work with Patrick. I think you guys are well suited for each other. Lisa, I think I would like you and Stan to work together, because you've got some structured approaches to channeling and overreaction that have helped you make major steps going forward that I would really like to see you continue to explore. Terry, you and Robert might work together well. If work doesn't permit that, I would suggest Terry, you could work with Patrick and Tom, or with Tim. And then Jacek and Gil, you guys already have a pretty good thing going on already. And so I think it would make sense for you to continue that relationship. And then I think that would cover everybody. Robert would just need to find out from you if your work is going to allow you much collaboration. You guys may or may not know Robert. I talk about him all the time when he's not here. He's the reason we're doing any of this stuff with Basecamp and Campfire and the structured approach, because he drove me to standardizing and publishing this stuff and organizing it in a way that we could reach out to others. And so he's really the reason that we have a chat room and a community and the Basecamp as a way to organize the volume of email traffic and file exchanges that we were doing back and forth. Pro money manager, wonderful human being. He's a real giver and a heart of gold. He looks like a great big grizzly bear, but inside he's just this cuddly puppy dog that cares deeply about other people. But on the other hand, as a senior money manager out at Wells Fargo, I can't commit his time, and I don't want him to feel bad about if he's not able to fully commit to like partnering with individuals. So what I would actually like, Robert, is to kind of exempt you from that, unless, in fact, what I would actually like you to do is if you can kind of help take a look at some of the message board traffic and float around like a butterfly, taking a look at the different dialogues and discussions going on, and then I would ask you to be available to questions from others. If there's something that comes up that I think you could really comment on and help us with, I think the best use of your wisdom would be as the graybeard to give another perspective on our enterprise here. I think there's a lot of things that you can give us some senior wisdom on, and then that would give everybody, I think, pretty good partners to work with, and also give us a bundle of research. Yeah, and that's my point there. I think that I've laid out the courseware for you there, and then you will be the best judge of your own time about what it is that you can focus on. And then if there are things that I especially would like to get your input on, I may be able to do a special executive session with you, and then you can help us, address some common problems. And that way we can be flexible according to your time. That leaves you as a it'll give you the seagull eyes view of the world, if you will. So, unless I hear otherwise from you guys, I would recommend Gil and Yasik continue to work together. Lisa and Stan work together. I would like to see Patrick and Tom work together. I would like to see Terry and Tim and Catherine, I think, work together in a group of 3. That would work, I think, really well. So, you guys stew on that, get it sorted out, and take a look at the tasks for this week. Get in there and monkey around with Basecamp until you feel comfortable and proficient doing that. In about 48 hours, you should be able to have that stuff all sorted out. Then go final on what you want to do with partnering, and then just get after that. Get after the work, and then I will get some stuff working on it. Okay, yeah, Lisa, just go to the message. Go to the message board. I'm going to show you here right now. So I'm going to go to the when you go to the dashboard and you click on your link for the online, just go to the Messages tab. And what I'm just going to do right now is I'm going to post a new message, and I'm going to call that Lisa and Stan partnering. Okay? And I'm just going to post that message. And so now when you go to the message tab, you guys can you can go right to Lisa and Stan partnering, and then this is your threaded conversation. You can put new messages, or you basically use comments. You would type your stuff in here, like comment 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's where you open the discussion. You can attach files to each comment, and so you have a threaded message board in that sense that is personal to you two guys. And then, but it's available to the rest of us too. So if there's something that comes up and you want us to go look at, we can also access that. But that gives you a focused place where you can have a conversation asynchronously. Okay. I would also remind you too that if it turns out that you guys would like to do a GoToWebinar session between you and your partner, just the two of you, because you'd like to do that instead of typing, just send me or Catherine an email, and then we'll work with my assistant Devin to get you a session set up and GoToWebinar. I have an unlimited account in that, so we'll just get that going. The easiest thing may simply be just to start a session and then just never end it, so that it's always available, and we may just end up doing that. Okay, that's about everything I propose to cover tonight. It's getting late. We're about 80 minutes into this, so I'm open to any final questions. And if there aren't any, I will. I'll terminate this thing shortly. I'll get the recording posted, and then I will post the recording of this lecture in the right board that's entitled Web Links. Okay? So I will put the webinar links, I will post them at YouTube, and then I'm going to put that under YouTube links. I'm going to edit that one. I'm going to put weekly webinar transcripts. This will be January 31, 2016, intro to the course. I'm going to look at this primitive thing. It's called H1 Big Header. So we'll see if that works. Yes. So once I get this posted at YouTube, I'll make this a clickable link. So if you need to review or listen to any of this stuff again, you certainly can. Okay. Any final round of questions before we call her a night? Just want to say thanks for your trust in me, and I'm looking forward to working with you on this. My goal is to help us all improve our trading practice and to make this available as a resource to others. Going once. Oops. Let me see. I want to send this to everybody. Sorry. Oops. So going once. Going twice. If there's no other questions, then we're good to go. And we'll see you on down the road here shortly. Our next scheduled webinar then will be Saturday, 8 o'clock Central, and the link to sign up is already there. So take good care, guys. Thanks, Catherine. You got some work to do trying to manage me here, so don't think that's trivial. Take good care, guys.